G'day everyone, Simon Doull here, looking forward to seeing you all from the Cricbuzz live studios. I will be there shortly for the World Cup, and you can watch all of us on Cricbuzz and enjoy the World Cup throughout. Can't wait for it to begin. Little birdie tells me that Michael Vaughan has suggested that England are favourites and England will win the World Cup. Well, they've got to get over New Zealand in the first game, don't they? It's going to be a blockbuster, a repeat of the 2019 World Cup final. So looking forward to that one from Ahmedabad in a few days' time. New Zealand's chances, New Zealand's squad, I think when we look at their squad, much like Australia and England, I think they have the all-rounders covered. And it's one of the areas I think New Zealand could prove to be quite strong. When you think about the likes of Phillips and Rachin Ravindra, Daryl Mitchell, Jimmy Neesham, Mitchell Santner, they've got a lot of bowlers or batters who can bowl and bowlers who can bat a little bit. And I think that might be the key for this World Cup. When I look at sides across the tournament, I'm looking for teams that can bat to 7, 8, and maybe even 9 on the odd occasion. New Zealand do have that ability. Do they have the power? Well, I think they do. Now, I was worried about the power in the previous tournament. I think they've actually got that power. Mark Chapman has sort of certainly sprung onto the scene, as well as possibly another guy who can bowl some left-arm spin and clear the boundaries, and he's had a really good last 12 months. Kane Williamson back, probably not for game number 1, but back for the tournament, I think is a huge thing from New Zealand's point of view. And then you look at their bowling side of things with Trent Boult back from what he's achieved over the last year in the T20 tournaments around the world. He just adds something really special to New Zealand's attack. He will, for me, be in New Zealand's MVP. I'm going to go with Trent Boult because I think, having been out of the New Zealand setup for a little while, now back into the fold, having had that time off, more experience in the T20 format, I know, but back to 50 over cricket, it's a format he absolutely loves. Key with the new ball up front, maybe an over or two through the middle, and then coming back at the back end as well. So Trent Boult back in the side, MVP for the tournament. For mine, if I'm looking at concerns from New Zealand's point of view, maybe just that uncertainty around the opening batting role and the combination of Will Young and Devon Conway, Rachin Ravindra. What are they looking to do? I know in the warm-up games they went with Ravindra at the top, had success. The form of Devon Conway is probably a little bit of a concern at the top of the order as far as his New Zealand performances in the last little while have been. So what do they do at the top? When Williamson comes back, he bats at number 3, Phillips at 4, Mitchell at 5. Then they can play any one of those all-rounders in Neesham, Santner, Ravindra, any of those guys in that middle order as well. So there's a lot to choose from through that middle order and that all-round capability. Bowling attack, Ferguson and Boult and Henry, I think will lead that bowling attack. The injury of Tim Southee was a concern, but I honestly think he's a backup to Matt Henry. So that would be where Tim Southee's tournament lies, I think, at the moment. He won't play many games. He wouldn't be in the starting 11, so I think they're taking him because he is such a vital part of this team off the field. And that's where a lot of what Tim Southee brings is going to be. And Latham in the middle is also going to be a bit of a key. Obviously, keeping wicket and playing the spin. I think Tom Latham, and no disrespect to Kane Williamson, who I think is New Zealand's best player by a stretch, I think Tom Latham's our best player of spin and has shown that on tours of India in the last 3, 4, 5 years. So that's where New Zealand's strengths lie. Do they have weaknesses? As I say, mainly that concern for me at the top of the order. Are they settled on who opens the batting? Probably not entirely yet. Going into the tournament, you would want them more settled at the top of the order. I think they are a semi-final side. I'm not sure they are a championship side, but I'll keep my fingers crossed. I've had them crossed in the last 2 tournaments. Can they finally get over the line this time round? Let's see. I hope so.